TalkSPORTS. TalkSPORTS.
For the best soul food in the Mid-South, it's Shop and Save. $14.99 South 3rd, 901-946-4303. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And some of the items on their menu consist of catfish, spaghetti, chicken and dressing, turkey wings, meatloaf, fried chicken, cabbage, yams, greens, salmon croquette, and the list goes on. Some of the best soul food you ever taste in the Mid-South, it is Shop and Save. $14.99 South 3rd. Call them again at 901-946-4303. Been in business since 1991. Shop and Save, $14.99 South 3rd, 901-946-4303 for some of the best soul food you'll ever taste.
To be honest, I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine.
I checked what the CDC says and spoke with my doctor about the potential side effects. It definitely made me much less anxious. She told me if I have some arm pain or feel tired, that's completely normal as my body builds a defense to the virus.
I was willing to take the vaccine to protect me, my family, and my friends.
Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try.
There aren't any cops around.
Didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Now.
For the best soul food in the Mid-South, it's Shop and Save. $14.99 South 3rd, 901-946-4303. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And some of the items on their menu consist of catfish, spaghetti, chicken and dressing, turkey wings, meatloaf, fried chicken, cabbage, yams, greens, salmon croquette, and the list goes on. Some of the best soul food you ever taste in the Mid-South, it is Shop and Save. 1499 South 3rd. Call them again at 901-946-4303. Been in business since 1991. Shop and save. 1499 South 3rd, 901-946-4303 for some of the best soul food you'll ever taste. And welcome. We are live right here in the Talkback Live Network studios. I am your boy. I am your host, Joshua Midgett, in the building. Ready for another edition of Talk Sports Live on a Friday. It is April the 15th, 2020. Happy to be here once again, man, on the weekly schedule. This is the second week of the weekly schedule after we put the schedule out there we're going to do every week, man. Glad to be back with y'all again on today. And, man, we got some stuff going on. Special guest coming up in about 20 minutes or so. My man Isaac Simpson will be joining us. He is a reporter for Rivals.com, covering the Memphis Tigers, and also works for the Sports Ethos Memphis Grizzlies podcast, as well as the website Sports Ethos, covering the Memphis Grizzlies. Going to talk to him coming up in about 20-25 minutes to talk Grizzlies, because it is Grizz time in Memphis, in case you didn't know, unless you've been under a rock or something, or something of that nature, man. You know that if any time, the city has been captivated by the Grizzlies, it's right now. And rightfully so, because the playoffs are right around the corner. As a matter of fact, we're right down the street from it, because it's tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, around this time, the Grizz will be in the first half playing the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first round of the 2022 NBA playoffs. The Grizz going in as the number 2 seed, and everybody's excited, man, and rightfully so. I know I'm excited. I'm fired up, man. Once again, thank you, everybody, for joining me that is joining and continue to join right now. Once again, I'm your host, Joshua Midgett. This is Talk Sports Live right here on the Talkback Live Network. If you haven't followed us before, please go ahead and do so, man. We got a lot of content coming up over the next few days, as we do each and every weekend, with our schedule lineup of shows that we do each and every weekend. I'll pull up the schedule a little bit later on so you can see everything else that we got coming up. But for right now, I'm going to get into it, man. So I'm going to dive in more with Isaac when he comes on. But again, y'all go ahead, hit me with the like button. Go ahead and hit the subscribe as well if you're listening or watching wherever you may be checking us out. And I guess I'll go ahead and start it off with a phone call, since we're already ready to go here.
Call from
Carl radio station.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
All right, and I think we got Carl on the line. See, Carl hung up there. Let's see. The phone's done this a few times here. Hopefully we can get that straight. It's a little odd there. Matter of fact, let me do this right now while we're on. But yeah, as you see there, the phone lines are open. You can see the number at the bottom of the screen there, 901-213-6020 if you want to call and join in with me right here live on the air and give your thoughts. How are you feeling about this weekend with the Memphis Grizzlies taking on the Timberwolves. Are you excited about the matchup? Do you think there's any upset possibilities with this matchup? You got a young and scrappy, some people like to say, Minnesota Timberwolves team coming into town. I'm going to tell you something. Most of y'all, if you saw the celebration that Minnesota did after they beat the Clippers and clinched the number 7 seed in Minnesota, you saw Patrick Beverly standing on the table, all the antics, Karl Anthony Towns kissing his girlfriend on the sideline. You got people crying. You got everything happening, right? It's just a wedding and a party and everything. The NBA championship celebration all happening all at the same time. And what's interesting about that, usually when you see things like that in sports, some people, at least in the past, will say, "Oh man, this is real heartwarming to see this franchise achieve this greatness." But you know what most of the reaction was? Most of the reaction was, "Man, I really don't like the Timberwolves for doing that." Now they look like a bunch of idiots, like a bunch of jerks out there celebrating nothing. You do nothing. What you celebrating for? That's what the majority of the reaction was, to see Minnesota celebrating after winning a play-in game, so to speak. So how y'all feel about that? And does it make you more fired up for the Grizz matchup against these guys, these jokers, some would say, coming into FedEx One? Because I'm going to tell you something. One thing about it, they are going to be fired up for this. But let's see if we get this phone call in now.
Call from
Carl radio station.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
All right, we got Carl. Hopefully it'll act right now. Let's see.
Call from
Carl radio station.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Yeah, I'm sad to see what the deal is. I think internet signal, because I'm seeing it do things. But see if I can call. That's a cool thing about having your own thing here. Let's see. A little bit different when the show calls the caller, but that's what we do, man.
Hello.
All right, I think this is Carl that tried to call. We decided to hit you, man. Carl, how you doing, bro?
One moment.
Okay.
I'm doing fine, Josh.
Yeah, man. What's going on?
I'm calling about those Memphis Grizzlies playing tomorrow at 2:30 Central Time.
Yeah, that's right.
Downtown Memphis near Beale Street.
Yeah, well, on Beale Street. Yeah, that's right.
I want to know, will Beale Street be safe tomorrow? And I want to know, can we put the Minnesota Timberwolves in the middle of Beale Street and let the crowd take care of them before they play the game? Can we do that?
Man, look, it's funny. There's some people that want that to happen. I saw, I'm looking at social media, man. Some folks say, hey, look, where, I think it was on one of the Grizz groups. I don't know if Kelly, you might have saw it too. Some people are like, hey, where are the Timberwolves staying? What hotel are they staying at? They want to find out. I don't know if they just want to send them a cake or something, or celebrate their being here. One guy said he wanted to throw bricks at their bus, which is
some people
real
say
old school. Yeah.
That some people say when the team comes to town, they generally stay at the Western.
Yeah, right across
or
the street.
They stay at Peabody.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on how much money the team has. They also say the best way to mess up a team coming to town is to blow your horn about 3 o'clock in the morning. Just drive by the hotel and blow your horn, keep driving.
Yeah, I've heard that. I also saw my man, it was somebody else said they want to run up in there and pull the fire alarm. Now,
no, you go to jail for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Look, most of this you probably will. Other than you can blow your horn all you want, I assume.
They can't put you in jail blowing your horn. They can't catch you. Simple as that.
Yeah, as long as you ain't being too obvious. But Carl,
there you go.
How you feeling, man? Are you gonna go by there and blow the horn, or are you feeling that fire?
No. I have too much class for that. Now, what's his? I forgot his name already. It's on the tip of my tongue. is it GP?
Oh, my man, GKP. Yeah.
GKP.
Yeah.
Why did I get those initials messed up? GKP would not do anything like that because he had Class 2. However, he might send somebody to do it. I would not put that past him.
Hey, you never know.
Look,
he's a good guy, man. I don't know if he's in yet. Watch, I'm sure he's going to be jumping in at some point. I know he's usually a faithful watcher and listener of the show, but especially with you calling, I'm pretty sure he's going to jump in at some point.
He's not going to call in when you have your guests come on in the next 15 minutes.
No.
I'm doing fine. Before I move on, I'm going to ask about how Bob doing, by the way.
Oh, he's good, man. He's good. Matter of fact, he just typed in the comments here. So, yeah, hey, man, I'm glad to hear from you. Glad you're doing good, man. All the stuff going on.
Yes, sir. Now, what we're going to do about Pat Beverly, is he going to get in the mind of Dylan Brooks and Ja? Is he going to cause them to lose their cool? He can become a dislikable person in less than 5 minutes.
That's true. And you know that's going to be his job. They're going to sick him on Ja, more than likely. Which that's really the matchup I'm most looking forward to be honest with you. Is
what they need to do is old school basketball. Run that fool into 3 screens. 3 hard screens.
Oh, yeah.
But tell the players don't move. Let them keep running after Ja. Run to Steven Allen's screen.
Yeah.
And then run to Jaren Jackson's screen. And then Ja reverse it, come back, and let him run back into Jaren Jackson again and to Steven Adams again. Number 2, that weak, gutless CAT for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Weak and gutless,
that gutless wonder, that crybaby, that he ain't tough at all. You can get rid of him just by saying something to him.
Yeah.
But don't talk about.
You're right.
Yeah, but don't talk about his family. Don't talk about his girlfriend. Talk about the way his hair look. Talk about that he look like he ain't tough. He'll melt like I don't know what.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's no doubt. Karl Anthony Towns, who you talking about? And look, I'm gonna say this, man. All that being said, because I hear a lot of folks saying what you're saying, and I don't disagree. I do think Karl Anthony Towns has some weak to him, some weak sauce, so to speak, you know. But at the same time, he's had some of the best numbers of his career this year. And this is no team. There's no team to sleep on. I think the Grizzlies are going to win the series. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's going to be.
They'll win 4-2.
4-2. 6 games. Okay. I was just going to ask you that.
You remember the last time Minnesota was in the playoffs?
Yeah.
What did CAT do in that one?
Not much.
Folded like a weak 5-cent paper that you put water on.
You're not wrong. Look, and that's what he's known for. He's known for choking in the big moments. So hopefully that continues. Because look, he knows there's a lot on the line for his reputation. Same for Pat Beverly. You know what I mean? And think about this. You remember, some folks might forget this. He was traded to the Grizzlies in the offseason this past year. And
he didn't want to be here.
Yeah, he didn't want to be here. The Grizzlies immediately sent him packing to Minnesota. Most people thought he would be an afterthought, maybe not. Thought his career was over. He's kind of had somewhat of a renaissance of. He's never been a scorer, never going to be that type of dude. But he's got like a Tony Allen type of influence on a team.
Right.
So, yeah.
And when the Grizzlies get a lead on the Timberwolves, they must keep their foot on the throat. You cannot let up because Minnesota type of team, if you let up on them, they get back in the game.
That's true.
They are a version of the Memphis Grizzlies 2 years ago. But getting back to CAT, he is a poor man version of Anthony Davis. Simple as that.
Wow. Okay.
Poor man version of Anthony Davis.
Okay.
I guess you tell I'm not a Minnesota Timberwolves fan.
I can tell. Hey, look, I like it, man. Look, we don't want a bunch of love on here. You know, with the enemy coming into town, we need this type of feeling right now. You know what I mean? That's the way the city's feeling right now. Everybody's feeling the battle mode. You know what I'm saying? Ready to fight. That's what it should be.
The game tomorrow at 2:30 on ESPN.
That's right.
I don't know who broadcasting the game, but I got a funny feeling it might be Doris Burke and Mark Jones. I got that feeling.
So are you a fan of Doris? I know how you feel with these certain announcers and stuff like that.
Oh, Doris. I can sit by her all day and enjoy her all day.
See, I didn't expect. I'm talking about basketball analysis. This is what I'm talking about. You know?
I can still sit by her all day and enjoy her talking all day.
Yeah, she's great. She really is. Yeah.
There's something about that blonde.
See, there you go. What does blonde and middle age have to do with basketball, man? I'm trying to talk sports. You know what I mean? Stay sports. And you talking about? Look, I literally brought up the basketball knowledge. You said that blonde. See, look at you, man. You haven't changed. You ain't changed.
Am I messing up again?
Yeah, man. I don't know if you got that Boone's Farm with you today or what's going on.
Well, I think she's good. I think Mark Jones good too.
Yeah, shout out
to Mark. As a matter of fact, I think Mark Jones like coming to Memphis.
Yeah, he's a fan. As a matter of fact, years ago, we did have him on the show. This was a long time ago. This is back in the grit and grind era. Really good dude. I met him at the Forum, actually, me and Bob. So it's really, really cool dude, man.
Well, that's good then. It's great having your show on. Now I'm confused. Yes, you come on Saturdays too?
Yes. And I'm gonna break it. If you keep listening, I'm gonna break down the whole schedule to you here in a couple of minutes. All right, Carl? And I appreciate you.
And when the bar come on?
He'll be on tomorrow. His show, I'll go ahead and tell you now. Let's talk about it with his show. He's got an interview coming up tomorrow at 1:00. So y'all tune in for that. And then after that, most likely after the Grizzlies game, me and Bob will be on immediately after with Talk Back Live with Bob and Josh, the original show. So check that out.
Well, you know how I feel about Bob.
Oh, yeah.
I think Bob one of the best one of the top 3 African American talk show hosts in the city of Memphis.
Absolutely.
Bob tells it like it is. He's a wonderful individual. He's the type of guy that you be proud to say, I met him. I hope the people who are listening realize that too. I just hope one person who call in don't start criticizing Bob like you always do. I'll be very upset that would happen. But other than that, y'all keep up the good work.
All right, Carl. Appreciate the call, bro.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, my man, Carl. Back in the building. Good to hear from Carl as always, man. And shout out to Bob who's in the comments, by the way. And real quick, before I read that, be sure and like this video. Only on that end. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Hit that like button. Hit that share button as well. If you haven't done it already, hit the button right now. All of y'all, I appreciate each and every one of you for watching. If you hadn't liked it, share it. Or if you're on Twitter, you could retweet it. Or if you're on YouTube, you can share it there as well. Our YouTube channel. If you haven't done that, be sure and subscribe. YouTube, Talkback Live Network on YouTube. Twitter, at Talkback Live on Twitter. So, Bob says, Bishop Bob Mitchell puts in the comments, support our newest advertiser, Shop and Save. Some of y'all may have seen the commercial a couple times right before we came on. Some of the best soul food you will ever taste, $14.99, South 3rd, 901-946-4303. Proud advertiser here on Talkback Live Network. What's up, guys? I see y'all coming in. Jet's in the building. Verdell, what's up, man? Jet says, Carl, in big letters. What's up? I know, man. Kelly says, Shop and Save. I went there one Sunday when y'all were first advertising them once before. Yeah, man, shout them out. They are the bomb. That's real talk. Verdell says, Grizz in 5. Okay, he's not even worried about it. I like it. He said, Richard Jefferson. Oh, Richard Jefferson's doing the game? Verdell? Wow, okay. I don't like that. And I know Richard Jefferson doesn't, he basically said the last time he was in Memphis, he couldn't wait to leave the city. So they sent him back here to do the game, if that's the case. Huh? Look, and either way it goes, I'm going to be watching the Bally Sports feed. I want to see Pete and Brevin. I ain't even worried about who ESPN got, especially if they got Richard Jefferson. I know I'm watching Pete and Brevin, no doubt. GKP, y'all already know who it is. What's up, man? And man, he said the only thing that can stop GKP from working is the caller, which is what he calls Carl, the caller, aka calling Carl. You know, y'all get it. Frankie, what's up? She says, Happy Good Friday. Happy Good Friday to everybody as well. Hope y'all have a great Easter weekend. Head into this weekend as well. Blessings to everybody that's out here and checking us out. So, again, if you hadn't hit the like button, go ahead and do so right now. Share the video as well. It is greatly appreciated. Everybody that is watching right now. One little click. But yeah, man, look, I'm fired up about this matchup. Got Isaac Simpson joining me in a couple of minutes, about 5 minutes or so. And we're going to talk Grizz. We're going to preview the Grizz Timberwolves series, get his perspective on some things. And y'all continue to leave your comments as well. Also, going to get into some Memphis Tigers as well, because he does cover the Tigers for TigerSportsReport.com, the Rivals affiliate here in Memphis, who has been linked up with us at Talkback Live for a long time, Tiger Sports Report, Brian Moss and company. So y'all check them out as well. So he'll be coming up in just a few minutes. But how do y'all feel, man? Everybody, I see a couple people giving their predictions already. How are we feeling about the Grizz T-Wolves series? What is your prediction? Grizz in 4? Are we going to sweep them? Are we going to win in 5? Are we going to win in 6? Do you think the T-Wolves get the upset? Are you going to be like Shaq and Charles Barkley picking the Timberwolves to beat the Grizzlies in an upset? And I'm going to tell you something. I saw that mess on Inside the NBA, and I love Inside the NBA. I do. Happy Friday, Dwight Rogers. Appreciate the comment and support as always, man. But look, I saw that mess on Inside the NBA after the T-Wolves won. And this is where I feel like Shaq and Charles especially are really getting old, because it didn't make any sense the way the conversation went. They started off making fun of the Timberwolves celebration, and rightfully so. I'm like, okay, this is going the right way. This is going the way it should, making fun of the Timberwolves celebrating their win. I'm all down for that. They said they looked like they, won the NBA Finals. But then at the same time, they show the highlights, and they all talk about how impressive Anthony Edwards is, which he is, and Towns, and all the guys that were stepping up, and D'Angelo Russell that was playing so well. And then I hear Charles say, well, it doesn't matter. They're still not beating Memphis. Then later on, when they're asked about their predictions for the series, Charles Barkley turns around and says, I'm picking Minnesota. You just said you were picking Memphis to win less than a couple of minutes ago, and they pointed it out to him. He says, it doesn't matter. I'm picking Minnesota now. He said, I just don't think they can do any wrong right now. Shaq said the same thing. I'm going to tell you something. I think they know basketball, but in this moment, I don't know if this was age or stupidity creeping in because it didn't make any sense, the reasoning for it. I don't have a problem if somebody wants to pick another team other than a team I think, which is the Grizzlies, of course, because the Grizzlies are clearly the better team. But all that aside, if you're going to give pick a team, at least give a legitimate reason. There was no reason given legitimately, to say, well, I just think they can't do any wrong. I'm going to tell you something, and this is just from me and my observation of watching the T-Wolves. I think they're scrappy. I think they are a tough matchup for the Grizz because if you remember, they tied the season series 2 games apiece, and every game they played was very competitive. Also, Ja Morant only averaged 20 points a game against the Timberwolves. It's one of the lowest averages, if not the lowest, against any team that he's played against this season. So you got to take all that into consideration. The Wolves have big guards. Anthony Edwards is a big, strong, physical guard. Patrick Beverley is a pit bull. Much as we don't like him, and I don't like him, but he's a pit bull. He's loud, obnoxious, physical, and can get on anybody's nerves and can make big defensive plays in the most opportune or inopportune times, as he did against the Clippers, as he's done with the Clippers when he played for them and when he played for Houston. It's been a constant thing. So we can't just act like there's no threat. You got to be real about the possibilities here. You got Anthony Edwards, who's a budding superstar in this league, who's had some huge games against us this year. He went for 40 at least once against the Grizzlies this year. So that is all things to consider to be realistic. On the flip side, Dylan Brooks didn't play in any of the matchups against the Grizzlies this year, against the Timberwolves this year. He didn't play in one game against Minnesota. That's a big part of what the Grizzlies do, Dylan Brooks. So when you put that in the equation, you got one of the best players on the team coming back that has not played in this matchup. That is going to be a big advantage for the Grizz. And also, let's look at the stage. This is a big stage for the T-Wolves, a stage that most of these guys haven't really been and haven't really succeeded on when they have been there. So all that needs to be taken into account. Now, I know the Grizz don't have a ton of experience there either. But when you look at the way these teams have played throughout the season, I think it's one thing that stands out as completely obvious is that the Grizzlies are the smarter and better coached team. Look at the Timberwolves, man. They are talented, they're young, they play hard, but they don't seem that smart. They're not that bright, at least in my opinion, with the way they do things, their decision-making. The fact that sometimes Anthony Edwards can get frozen out of a game because they don't give him the ball enough. That's a young star, man. And then other guys like D'Angelo Russell and Karl Anthony Towns can get caught up in absorbing a lot of those shots. Usually, that's going to play into the Grizzlies' advantage. You don't want Anthony Edwards being the main one taking shots because he's a guy that can take the game over and really kill the Grizzlies. So those are certain things that show I don't believe they're that well coached. I think he's done a decent job to coach to get them to this point. But there are still certain things that they don't do execution-wise that the Grizz have shown throughout this season. They consistently do well. The Grizz consistently move the ball well. They consistently don't rely on just one guy, as evidenced by their record without John Morant. They consistently show that they are well coached. You look at the defensive numbers, the number one in all sorts of numbers, in rebounds, in steals, in block shots. They're number one in the NBA in all of these categories defensively. So that's a huge part of the game. When this team has shown that they can take that next step defensively, especially with Jaren Jackson leading the NBA in blocks. So these are all ways and evidence, at least in my opinion, that show that the Grizz are obviously the better team when it comes to them against the Minnesota Timberwolves. But as I say again, these are the playoffs. You cannot take anybody for granted. But one thing I noticed about this team, this coaching staff, and everything else, they don't take anything lightly. And I think that's a very good attribute to have.
Call from
Isaac.
to accept.
All right, got my man Isaac on the line, and we're going to get to him in just a second. I'm going to introduce him, but first I'm going to play this clip here as some sort of a intro, and then we're going to go right into it. So y'all take a look and listen to this, and we'll be right back.
When you young, they act like the prison ain't for you. That you'll have your shot, but not today. This year, this team from Memphis showed just because you next, don't mean you can't be now. They ain't intimidated. And they don't kneel at anyone's throne.
Desmond Bain, shot by LeBron James.
What we like. You want to play that game? We can play that game.
This is a team, they don't give a damn who you are.
We're competing for something huge. It's never personal. I don't care who I'm talking to.
The Memphis Grizzlies are tenacious, fearless.
Ain't no running in the hill, man. We climb up the chimney. We ain't ducking no smoke, man. We gonna let everybody know we here.
Jared, a three for the lead. It's in!
Anywhere, anytime, and no matter the lineup, they showed up.
4 starters sitting out of the game to a team that's won 62 games.
Sleep on them, and they become your nightmare.
Santi, drive.
One man down, next man up.
The kids from Memphis defy expectations. Despite the doubters, this team, this city is ready for the fight. This. Brr, brr. Big brr.
All right, welcome back to the show, Talk Sports Live, and now it is time for my special guest. He is the man himself from the Sports Ethos podcast, talking Memphis Grizzlies, also TigerSportsReport.com, Memphis Rivals affiliate. My guy, Mr. Isaac Simpson in the building. Isaac, man, how you doing? Welcome to the show, man.
Man, feeling good, man. I always love to hear that NBA on NBC, man. That got me fired up, man. I'm ready.
Yes, sir, man. Just ready for Bob Costas, man, to introduce the game and whatnot back in the day. But man, yeah, great stuff, man. But look, man, I can't I can't tell you how much I love that video, the hype vid the Grizz put out with a Big 30. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Doing the hype for the game, just like I think it was last year. When they had, was it Dolph last year or was it Moneybag? I think it was Moneybag.
It was Moneybag last year, yeah.
Yeah, because and I think Dolph did one before, the late Dolph. But
a couple years ago.
Yeah, but man, gotta love that, man. But how are you feeling, man? First of all, this Grizzlies season, before we can get to the playoffs, has it almost been surreal what has happened? Because I find myself, after the season was over, I'm like, man, we're all looking forward to the playoffs, but I almost like I need to take in what just happened this year. And, the insanity of how amazing this team was. I found myself looking at old games, highlights, all sorts of stuff, man. It's just, has it really sunk in how great this season's been kind of out of nowhere?
Yeah, it's definitely a special season. I mean, sometimes you want to pitch yourself in and like, man, wake up, am I dreaming? Like, is this really happening? I mean, the fact that we finally have a superstar on this team in Ja Morant. I mean, we've had fantastic players on this team. When you talk about Zach Randolph, Mike Conley, Marc Gasol, Tony Allen, you go on and on, but we've never had a transcendent star that kind of registered outside of Memphis. I mean, Ja could potentially be the face of the league here a couple of years, and we've never had anything on that level. You look back on this season, I mean, just so special. I mean, everything, the next man up mentality. I mean, I think Ja missed 24 games. They go 20-4 without him. I mean, just crazy stuff like that. The stuff that you don't see. I mean, you come into this season saying, man, could they be in the top 6 and the board to play in, be 5 or 6, and here you look at the second best record in the league and number 2 seed, man. It is surreal, man. I mean, I don't think I'm always a glass half full guy most of the time, and even the most optimistic, I think 45 wins, and at the time before the season started, that would have been looked at as optimistic. I think Vegas had the over/under at 41, and to be sitting there with 56 wins, tied the franchise record. And in my mind, I think eye test wise, I know that team made the Western Conference Finals, but I think this is the best team in franchise history. I think anybody watching this team knows that all the records they broke this season. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I wish they could have got that extra victory to get to 57 to solidify, but this season has been special, man. And I think I think we got a long ride coming. I don't think it's about to end anytime soon.
Yeah, it's no doubt, man. That's the amazing thing about it. When, as Grizz fans, as long as we have covering the team, being fans before that, and just about anybody that can relate. I don't think we've ever seen the amount of national coverage that this team has gotten to this degree, because even with the grit and grind teams, right, as good as they were, consistently winning around the 50s every year, you know what I'm saying, being consistently competitive in the playoffs, as grit and grind was, I don't think there was respect, but this is different. You know what I mean? You got people, a lot of folks picking the Grizz to at least go to the West Finals, if not further. I'm seeing Skip Bayless saying he got the Grizz in the Heat. I saw him today. He said, I got the Grizz in the Heat in the NBA Finals. And I'm like, what? This is another universe.
It's wild, man.
I never forget putting out a tweet about, man, I never thought I'd see Skip breaking down who John Conchar was on Undisputed. Yeah. And for some reason, that tweet went viral. I'm like, who are all these Conchar fans? There's hundreds of them. But it's crazy, man. So it's still kind of surreal to see. But do you think this team is ready for these expectations that are on them now?
But I really do. I think this team, people kind of talk about them being the biggest trash talkers in the NBA and all this. They're young and they need to to show some respect. Or you heard LeBron kind of talking about some comments from Desmond Bain when they played out in L.A.
Yeah.
But to think about it, and I tell people about it, it's one thing to talk trash, but it's another thing when you back it up.
Exactly.
And that's what this young team has done. I think, and I don't have any problem with it. If you go out and talk trash, back it up, and they've done that so far. I mean, the team has a swag about it, a confidence that they feel like every time they step on the floor, they're the best team out there. And I feel like this team is going into the playoffs really feeling like they can win a championship. And I don't think that's crazy. Like, I really do think this team has the talent. They have the chemistry. They have the depth. I mean, I really do think this team has a shot, man. It's going to be tough for anybody to beat Phoenix, but, I mean, again, man, I don't think it's a fluke that they have the second best record in the NBA. There's still some people out there disrespecting them. Like, there's a lot of people picking Minnesota, which I really don't get. I just think, I mean, you just look at the numbers. They check all the boxes as far as all the stats, all the analytical stuff. I mean, this team is for real. I know they're young, and this is not usually what you see teams this young doing, but I really do think this team is poised to make a deep run. And again, man, I wouldn't be surprised if we're still playing in June.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think, at some point some of these guys got to get past the, you got to earn stripe. I'm like, same people saying that turn around like Charles and Shaq and pick Minnesota out of nowhere.
Yeah, pick Minnesota, man. Like, I'm like, you got questions about the Grizzlies. Why don't you have any questions about Minnesota? Like, it didn't make any sense. Like, and the weird part about that was, to me, Shaq all season, it really surprised me when Shaq said it, because all season he's gone to bat for the Grizzlies. That Ja's MVP, Ja's first team All-NBA a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And how good they are. And then you go turn around and pick the 7 seed over the 2 seed. I just didn't get it. And then the reasons they gave didn't make any sense either. Like, what did he say? The Grizzlies have never been favored in the series, and that the Timberwolves don't crack under pressure. I'm like, I don't get it, man.
Don't crack under pressure. What pressure they had?
They had no pressure. They've been in the playoffs, I think, in 13 years. I mean, it's crazy, man. I don't know, man.
It doesn't make any sense. And don't get me wrong, I respect them, right? Because I've somewhat enjoyed their journey, kind of watching, especially Anthony Edwards. I'm a fan of his.
Yeah.
Just point blank. And one thing that I was just saying right before you got on is for people to remember that the games against the T-Wolves have been tough this year. They tied the season series. They've, held Ja to 20 points a game, I saw, which is one of his lowest averages by far, because he's just kind of lit everybody up other than them. But I really think, one, he's going to take that as a challenge. You already know that.
Oh, you know, for sure.
I can't wait to see him and Beverly go at it. That's going to be very entertaining. But how do you feel about the matchup itself? All other things aside, Grizz T-Wolves, when you break it down to just looking at these two head-to-head?
Well, first, outside of the actual game itself, I think this is a great series. I think you have everything that you want in a playoff series. I think the victory hall between the fan bases is kind of grown, especially here over the last week. I mean, you got the Timberwolves fans after they beat the Clippers in their playing game saying, we want Memphis.
Yep.
You got Patrick Beverly saying all his antics, and he's always talking. You go back to the tweet earlier this season when they beat the Grizzlies, saying, man, the Grizzlies dancing around. They're not dancing around tonight. You got all that going on. They're confident. I mean, their media, their fans, and their players, they all feel like they're going to win this series. And I've said, there's no problem with that. You can be confident, but just if you go write checks, man, make sure those checks clear. That's the only thing I got to say about that. And I think they're going to be humble a little bit here in a couple weeks. But as far as the matchup itself, I think you look at those 4 regular season matchups, and it's been a battle. I mean, these games are like football games, extremely physical. But I think one thing that you have to look back at, Dylan Brooks didn't play in any of those games. Yep. And Dylan Brooks has been a guy that's played really well against Minnesota. And I think you go back to that game, I think with D'Angelo Russell went off there in that fourth quarter. If Dylan Brooks on the court, that doesn't happen. He's not going off or whatever. He scored 30-something points in the fourth quarter. That's not going to happen with Dylan Brooks on the floor. And I think he's going to make a big difference, because that Minnesota team is a team where you really have to be on point with your perimeter defense, or they can eat you up. I mean, they take a lot of threes and they make a lot of threes. And I think that's outside of, I think that's the biggest worry for the Grizzlies. Yeah, if the Grizzlies can make threes, I think they've shot. There's something crazy when they shoot 35% from 3. Like, their record is incredible. I can't remember. I think they might have lost 2 games this season when they shot 35% from 3. And if they do that in this series, I don't see any way Minnesota can beat them. I mean, they don't have to match them in threes, but if they're shooting decent, like say Minnesota hit 15, 16 threes in a game, Grizzlies hit 10, I think that they're in good shape. And as of late, they've been going significantly north of that 35%, because you have guys like DeAnthony Melton who's coming in shooting the basketball really well right now. Tyus Jones is shooting the basketball really well. And even guys like you got Dylan Brooks back, he can shoot the basketball. He's not necessarily a three-point shooter. He's more of a scorer, but he can knock him down as well, and you have to honor him. So I think this series is going to be fantastic. I mean, you got Ja versus Beverly that you talked about, man. That's going to be fun, and I definitely think Ja's going to take that as a challenge because he's hearing all this stuff. I mean, yesterday in the media availability, people asked him about that matchup, and he was like, well, I'm not worried about Patrick Beverly. I'm worried about the Minnesota Timberwolves. But, inside he knows about stuff that Beverly's been saying and what people are saying about that matchup. He's going to take that personally, and I don't think if Ja's motivated, I don't think there's anybody in the league that can stop him. I know Patrick Beverly touts himself as a great on-ball defender. I think he's more bark than bite, I think. I think he gets a little bit more credit than he deserves. He's more of a pest than a fantastic defender. But it's going to be fun, man. I mean, I think this series is going to be tippy. These two teams don't like each other. I wouldn't be surprised to see technical because everyone will be watching Patrick Beverly and how he guards Ja. Dylan and Steven Adams are going to be there, man. If anything jumps off, they're going to be ready to take out there. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun because these two teams definitely don't like each other, and I think that's a big deal. They both talk trash as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a significant amount of technicals in this series.
Yeah, and I can't wait. I can't even lie to you. I love that type of ball, man. As long as they're a detriment to us, too crazy. But I am looking forward to that. Like you said, Steven Adams. I'm looking forward to him setting one of them screens on Beverly.
Move out the way.
Yeah, exactly. If he could do that to Bradley, I'm sure he could, pick up Beverly with one finger.
He had a screen back when he played for Houston, man. When he screened Patrick Beverly, man, knocked him out, man. He can set those screens for sure. I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of those in this series.
No doubt. And I'm sure it's going to be different for him being on this side of the Grizz fans. As well as many playoff matchups he's been against the Grizzlies. So, but it's going to be interesting, man. And one thing I'm looking forward to too, Dylan Brooks and Anthony Edwards with the 2-guard matchup. How do you feel about Edwards? Because he's kind of lit. He's lit us up. He's lighting everybody up now. Especially what you saw with the Clippers game. Do you feel? And one thing I brought up, and I'm curious what you think about this. I almost feel like Towns and Russell can be to Edwards' detriment with the way they shoot so much that they almost take shots away from Anthony Edwards. Do you feel like that could be a factor in this?
Yeah, I think Charles Barkley said on that post-game show, he said sometimes they play dumb, and I think they actually, we were talking about Karl Anthony Towns, his struggles with fouls in that game. They were actually better when he fouled out. That's kind of when they kind of took control of the game, and the reason why that is, and I don't know what Towns was trying to do in that game. I mean, most of those fouls were just dumb fouls. Like there was no reason for it. Like that fifth he picked up where he was just elbowing guys. I was like, what are you doing, man? You got 4 fouls, right? Like I don't understand that. And then you got him taking forcing shots, and like you said, D'Angelo Russell will at times will take some bad shots as well. He goes one-on-one and tries to take guys out, try to take these tough shots. And I think Anthony Edwards is the guy that you want taking those shots. I think this is. I know people will say Karl Anthony Towns, but I think this is quickly becoming Anthony Edwards' team.
Yeah.
And I think he's the guy that really the Grizzlies really have to be concerned with. And it's going to be interesting because D'Angelo Russell can get hot and hurt you too. Yeah. And Dylan can only guard one of those guys. He can't guard both of those guys. Mm-hmm. So Bain is going to have to play good defense as well. But I think Dylan Brooks is the guy when we've seen him in the playoffs and the way he played defense last year. I mean, he was a man on a mission. You've seen him against Donovan Mitchell. You've seen him against Steph Curry. He's used to these battles, and I think he's going to be ready. And Edwards has been a guy who, at times he's hot now, but there have been times during the season where he can kind of disappear. Games where he was, shooting basketball terrible. You see, nice. He was like 2 of 14 from 3 and super inefficient. So you hope you can get that version. You hope Dylan Brooks can kind of force him into missing some shots. But I trust Dylan when it comes to these playoffs. I think he's gonna going to be causing some problems for Anthony Edwards, but nobody's going to completely shut him down. But I think if you can hold him down, you don't want him going for 30 like we saw going in the Clippers game. It can really cause some problems. If you can keep him 18, 19 points, I think you'll be fine. You just don't want him to go off because he's one of those guys that can get hot, man. And once he gets hot, man, he's hard to stop.
Definitely, man. And that's the only thing, I know it's you're not hearing this a lot, especially with all the fans back and forth. But it's the one thing I might fear, if I want to say, but is the Anthony Edwards aspect of things in the realistic sense. But other than that, I do think the Grizz are definitely going to handle this series regardless. What is your prediction? How many games do you think goes?
Man, I said Grizzlies in 6. Excuse me. Grizzlies in 6. I think I can see it. I'm closer to 5 than I am 7.
Yeah.
I think I just fall right there nicely in the middle with 6. But I can see it ending in 5. I just think this Grizzlies team is just better. I think that they have more depth than the Timberwolves. I think people are way too concerned about those regular season matchups. I know a lot of fans were saying, well, I mean, this has been a tough matchup with them. They didn't want to play Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that. But, again, Dylan Brooks didn't play any of those games. And causing people to tell them that playoff basketball is different. When your only sole focus is on one team, your coach can scheme and change things up to where the things that they give you trouble with, you can figure out ways to scheme out of it. And I think that's different in a playoff series. And when you look at this team, I know they have Patrick Beverly on that team, and he's been in the playoffs a lot. And Cat and D'Angelo Russell have had cups of tea, not much success. I think this Grizzlies team overall have more experience when it comes to these things. Because even though this team is young, they've been through some things. I mean, the bubble, they went in the bubble trying to hold on to a playoff spot. They didn't end up doing it their first year due to some injuries. But the second year, I mean, you go into Golden State, knock them off to earn that 8 playoff seed last year. You had the series with Utah. I feel like, honestly, the Grizzlies are more experienced than the Timberwolves. That's hard to say when you look at how young this Grizzlies team is. But I think that's an advantage for the Grizzlies, actually. And I also think that Taylor Jenkins has an advantage coaching-wise over Chris Finch. I just think Grizzlies have an advantage pretty much everywhere. And I just don't see – the only way that I see this Minnesota team really giving the Grizzlies a lot of problems in this series is that they're just on fire from 3.
Yeah,
like if they're shooting like 45%, they're just knocking down threes and the Grizzlies can't stop them, which I don't see that happening, not over a 7-game series. I think that's kind of the only way that they can really compete with this team. And I feel like the Grizzlies are going to come out there Saturday and jump on them game 1. And I think it's going to be tough, man. I could easily see it in 5, but I'm going to stick with Grizzlies in 6.
Okay, Grizzlies in 6. As says, man, Isaac Simpson about the game. And I kind of feel the same way. I'm kind of leaning 5. Most of the people in the comments said 5 as well. Remember, man, Carl, said he's ready to drive down to the hotel the T-Wolves playing, try to honk the horn and all that. So, I saw some people ready to throw bricks at their bus and all sorts of stuff. Not encouraging.
Yeah, that they what hotel they were staying at so they could pull the fire alarm at night. So
gotta love Memphis, man, no doubt. But nonetheless, man, this is my man Isaac Simpson, covers the Grizzlies for Sports Ethos and the Tigers as well. And before we get into that, I want to bring up real quick newest advertiser, Shop and Save. I know, Isaac, you know about them. $14.99 South 3rd, 901-946-4303. Some of the best soul food you will ever taste. That is Shop and Save. Once again, $14.99 South 3rd, 901-946-4303. Y'all check them out, man. You can check them out before the Grizz game, after the game. I don't know if about before, it'd be sleepy. You get some of that stuff. But whenever y'all check them out, man. Tell them Talkback Live sent you, and they will appreciate that, and so will we. But, man, I want to talk a little about the Tigers also here on the back end because when it comes to Tigers basketball, I got Frankie saying Grizz in 6 as well. Jet says Grizz versus Celtics in the finals. Okay. Grizz.
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that either. But and that's gonna be a good series. Celtics Nets also.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I can't wait for that. Coming, I think that's Sunday when they play. But what do you think about what's happening with the basketball team? Now everybody's got transfers leaving, and it is surprising who looks like they're leaving now. I know some people hadn't hired agents and stuff. Like you got Landers is an Aggie now, and that happened real quick.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I almost held out hope that he might come back, especially after as emotional as he was after that game against Gonzaga. But how are you feeling about what's happened so far and what it looks like Penny's doing to try to refill some of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting, man. That IRP situation is a tough situation because, I mean, there were already questions that kind of about the roster. Not only I wasn't surprised by Landers. I knew Landers was – what surprised me about Landers is that I knew that he was going to leave, but I didn't think he was going to leave to go play another year of college basketball. I thought he was going to try to go somewhere pro, get paid, go overseas, anything, because to me, it really – doesn't make any sense for you to go to another team with Texas A&M because, like, I mean, anything that could happen there could happen at Memphis, especially next year. With seeing some guys leaving, he would have been one of the maybe even had a bigger role than he had this year if he had came back next year. So that was kind of head scratching. I've been told that there's a possibility that Lester comes back. I think that he's having to change the heart. He's going to go get the information, but I think Lester probably comes back.
I like that.
And I was kind of surprised with DeAndre. That kind of came out of nowhere. We weren't really expecting him in the draft. It all signs point him to coming back, and he's not signed an agent, so it's still possible. So it wouldn't surprise me if he came back. And with the money baked, I personally think the money's coming back because I look at that situation, and you ask the question, where's he going? If he goes to the D League, the problem with him is that he wasn't strong enough and wasn't physical enough. Go to the D League, man. He's gonna get exposed there. Man. You can go overseas, kind of like RJ Hampton did with New Zealand, the Breakers, get exposed over there as well. So to me, the thing that makes the most sense for him is to come back to Memphis because you go to another school that doesn't really make any sense. I think you have a coach in Penny Hardaway who truly believes in him, and I think he's gonna give him an opportunity if he's back. I just think it makes the most sense for him to come back to Memphis. So as of right now, I mean, there's so many questions with the roster. But somehow, man, Penny is still, I mean, coaching staff, Robbie Hamilton announced that he was leaving on yesterday. Larry Brown's status is still up in the air. So you don't really have a coaching staff right now, man. It's just, and somehow he has Kendra Davis on campus today.
Man.
Like, the number one transfer out of 1,400, man, in the portal, number one guy from SMU. And we Memphis fans know what damage he can do.
I'm telling you.
And wouldn't he look good in a Tiger uniform? And it's crazy, man. It's wild because you look at Kendra Davis, and he's a guy who, throughout his college career, has never made the NCAA tournament. And here's Memphis, a team that could possibly have a postseason ban coming up this season, and he's still interested in Memphis. That's Penny Hardaway, man. That right there shows you that no matter what, this guy can still at least get players to listen. And he has them on campus, and a lot of people think they have a good chance of getting them. I'm skeptical. We'll see. But the fact that he has them on campus and it's his first visit kind of makes me feel like they definitely have a shot at him. But a lot of competition, man. Duke in there now, North Carolina, all the Kansas, man, all of the Blue Bloods in there on him. But I never count Penny Hardaway out, man. You get a kid on campus, even though it's kind of a skeleton crew over there right now, man. I think they got a chance at him.
I don't know what Penny does, man. It's incredible how it doesn't matter. It's like we got a chance to get whoever. With just Penny, it could just be Penny and nobody else on the staff. He gonna at least get some visits from some top dudes, man. And this is amazing when you look at Kendrick Davis again. In case y'all don't know, 6-foot guard from SMU. I don't know how y'all couldn't know who he is, especially after last year.
you should.
And what he did to us. I'm talking about AAC Player of the Year. Just a baller, man. I mean, it's just crazy if they were able to pull this off. And I'm looking here, shout out to my man Leon Taylor with the pictures that Davis is putting on IG of some of the stuff he's got from the university. He got the body armor.
Yeah, I saw that.
He got he got some the cuties, the oranges.
Yeah, the fruit.
Fruit, the pink lady apples
pink lady apples, yeah.
and a flyer.
Put a package together for him.
Yeah, a flyer with him in the Memphis jersey. And I'm sure some stuff they may have show on camera, but nonetheless, do what you got to do, Penny. I'm just, I ain't.
Yeah, man. And to talk about Kendra Davis, I mean, he's kind of the type of guy that the point guard position that they've been missing. I mean, they haven't had a guy like him since Jeremiah Martin, a guy that can just go get you a bucket from the point guard position. And I think that's what they've been missing. And no disrespect to Alo, because I think Alo played about as well as he could play. Late in the
especially down
season
the
in the
stretch.
NCAA tournament, playing defense. I mean, he had clutch shots, but I mean, he's just not that scorer. And if they had had a guy like Kendra Davis, I think this year or last couple of years, I think we would be talking something really different right now. I think you have a scoring point guard like that. They beat Gonzaga. I think no question if you have Kendra Davis on that team. So you get Kendra Davis, man. You can get Lester, DeAndre back, and E-Money back. I mean, you have a real team. And there's some thoughts that maybe they don't get a postseason ban this coming up year. If you bring those guys back, I think you could be right back in the top 25 team and right back in the NCAA tournament this year. Just got to try to avoid those bad starts. I think that's what killed this season. Because, I mean, if they had started the season the way they finished it, you're probably talking about a 2016 Final Four team, Elite Eight Final Four team because of the seed that they would have had. They just ran into a bad team. I mean, if they had been a 6 seed or anything like that, I think they would have advanced several rounds. I think you could have saw them in the Final Four. I don't think there's any question about it.
No doubt, especially when you saw the way they competed against Gonzaga. I mean, they were there. You know, if it wasn't for, you know, to me, I was still upset about, you know, it took me a while to get over those refs, man. I can't even lie to you. But
I know a lot of people don't want to, like, they always like, oh, I'm not going to blame it on the refs, man. But it was rough, man, in that second half. I mean, if they call that game fairly, man, I think Memphis ends up walking out there with a win.
Definitely. And ain't no telling how far they go. You know, I mean, you can't say Arkansas is unbeatable at all. What would have been in that next one, who ended up knocking off Gonzaga. So, man, it's crazy. But and shout out also, they got another transfer, Elijah McCadden. Georgia Southern.
6'4" guard from Georgia Southern Sunbelt 6 Man of the Year. He's more of a depth piece. He's a guy that's not much of a shooter, but plays really good defense. And Penny talked all year about having more experienced guys, and he's going to be a fifth-year player. Has a lot of experience. Started a lot of games over his 4-year career. So just bringing in an experienced guy, a guy that's been there through the wars. And Penny talked all year about wanting to bring in some more experienced guys. So I think that's what you saw with him.
Definitely. And is Jermaine Johnson going to be back? Because it seems like, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like he has enough. It seems like when he comes in, you see something change in the team. Is it just me? It seems like he has a positive impact when he's on that bench.
Oh yeah, man. I've built a relationship with Jermaine over the years, but we talk off and on all the time, man. I think he's a fantastic motivator. I think he's a fantastic coach. I think the guys like him. I think he's kind of a player's guy, and they listen to him. And I think he has a wealth of knowledge that he brings to the game. So I hope that he keeps him on staff, because right now, man, he needs some help over there. We don't know what's going to happen with Larry Brown. That's kind of up in the air. They asked him the other day, and he said, they asked him what his status was next year, and he said, ask coach. So I guess it's up to Penny Hardaway if he wants him back on the bench. So to my point, no question, I think you want him back.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. Ask him, like, man. Well, what's Penny gonna be like? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
He just didn't live up to expectations. But I don't know, man. But it's gonna be interesting to see, man. So much going on when it comes to Tigers basketball. But man, we are Grizz City right now with the playoffs coming up tomorrow. Grizz Timberwolves. Can't wait, man. And I think we both expect the Grizz to kick it all off with a win tomorrow.
Yeah, man. I think the whoop that trick gonna be blaring, man. Everything. Form's gonna be loud, man. I think they're gonna come out there with a victory 1-0. And weird, man. They're giving them 2 days off. Usually in NBA playoffs, the first round is Saturday, Monday, Sunday, Tuesday. But the Grizz don't play again. Game 2 is not till Tuesday, and some teams only get 1 day off. I thought that was weird. But glad the Grizz and Timberwolves one of those series that get 2 days off in between games. I think if they get these first two at home, I think it's lights out. I think if they win these first two at home, I think it goes 5. I think they split in Minnesota and Grizz come back and win game 5. And I think that's it. I think if Minnesota's gonna make the series in longer than 5 games, they gotta win one of these first two. And I think that's gonna be real hard to do, because we know what that building looks like during the playoffs. I mean, I think it's one of the best, if not the best, atmospheres in the NBA when it comes to playoff basketball. It's hard to come out there with a win in the playoffs.
Definitely, man. It's my man Isaac Simpson, covers the Memphis Grizzlies for Sports Ethos. You can check out their podcast there. Also, Memphis Tigers for TigerSport.com, Memphis Rivals, and everything, man. Isaac, tell folks where they can follow you, man, and check your stuff out.
Yeah, man. You can follow me on Twitter at Isaac_Rivals. It's ISAAC _Rivals, man. You can check out our podcast at Ethos Grizzlies. It's ETHOS Grizzlies. Me and my man David Williams, we do a podcast post-game after every game, and then other podcasts throughout the week. So make sure you check that out. You also find out my work, as Josh said, at TalkSPORTS.com, Memphis Rivals. So make sure you check all that out. Man, that's me.
Definitely, man. And Isaac, man, appreciate it as always, bro. You know, we're going to do it again, man, and continue to follow this Grizz journey through the playoffs.
Sure, man. It's going to be fun, man. I can't wait.
Yes, sir. All right. That's my man, Isaac Simpson. Great stuff, as always, man, coming on with me and chopping it up, talking Grizz, talking Tigers. A lot of interesting stuff there that was said and talked about, especially when you talk about really everything, to be honest. But even on the back end, talking about the Tiger situation, what's up in the air. Larry Brown saying, I don't know if I'm going to be back as Penny. You know, I don't know. And some of y'all, will you beg to have Larry Brown back? You know, do you feel he made that big of a difference last year? I don't know. Y'all can give me your thoughts on that, man. But we're going to take a quick break, and I will be back, and then we're going to close the show out, man, but also open it up for phone calls as well if y'all want to come in. So be sure you can give me a call at the number below. We'll be back. For the best soul food in the Mid-South, it's Shop and Save. 1499 South 3rd, 901-946-4303. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And some of the items on their menu consist of catfish, spaghetti, chicken and dressing, turkey wings, meatloaf, fried chicken, cabbage, yam, greens, salmon croquette, and the list goes on. Some of the best soul food you ever taste in the Mid-South, it is Shop and Save. 1499 South 3rd. Call them again at 901-946-4303. Been in business since 1991. Shop and Save, 1499 South 3rd, 901-946-4303 for some of the best soul food you'll ever taste.
I watch y'all coming here for years because you shot somebody. Now your life is shot. You're going to pick that phone up one day and that girl going to be done dumped you and raise your child with another man. Or maybe your mama or your grandmama dies. Because ain't nothing you can do about it. You got 15 to 20 years, state or fed time. Real talk. Don't lose your head, use your head, man. Gun crime, max time.
This pandemic has hit us hard, but Tennesseans don't stay down for long. We're known for our resilience, and we refuse to back down from a challenge. This challenge is no different. You might be out of work, but there's an opportunity waiting for you. We need you to roll up your sleeves and join our workforce. Right now, thousands of jobs are ready to be filled. Find them at jobsfortn.gov. Let's get to work, Tennessee.
This is Sergeant Chris Richardson with the Tennessee Highway Patrol. Pedestrian safety is a two-way street. Both drivers and walkers need to do their part to keep roads safe. When you're walking, remember, the drivers may not always see you, so remember to use these tips to continue to walk safely. Wear bright clothes. Always use crosswalks and obey signs. Lights and reflectors should be used. And finally, keep alert and do not walk distracted. This message brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Patrol.
right, and welcome back to the show, Talk Sports Live. Live in the building. Shout out to everybody joining us live on Twitter, live on YouTube, live on Facebook. We're also live on Spreaker as well. If you don't know what Spreaker is, well, it's a free app you can download on any device you got, whether you got an iPhone or an Android or an Apple device. Download it for free. Just look up Spreaker, S-P-R-E-A-K-E-R, S-P-R-E-A-K-E-R. Then just search Talkback Live once you download that app, and you can listen to me live. You won't see the video like the others do, but you'll be able to listen live wherever you are. And anytime we go live, if you hit the subscribe button, you'll get a notification to when we go live. You'll always know. So you definitely want to keep up with us on all of those platforms. Also here, you see the schedule to my left on the screen there. That is our streaming schedule every week. Now, we may go live anytime outside of these as well during the week, so you never know. Always stay notified when it comes to that. But these are the for sure days. Talk Sports Live every Friday, 3 p.m. Central Time. Let's Talk About It with Bishop Bob Midgett every Saturday at 1 p.m. Central Time. Talkback Live with Bob and Josh, the original, every Saturday at 4 p.m. Central Time. And then the Word of Life Bible Study with Bishop Bobby Midgett on Sundays as well. So y'all stay tuned for all of that stuff coming up every weekend right here. And also shout out to the sponsor, the advertiser, that is newest advertiser, Shop and Save, 1499 South 3rd, 901-946-4303 for some of the best soul food you will ever taste. Y'all check them out. Tony Walls and the family down there has been there for a long, long time as well. Consistently great food. So y'all check them out. Once again, 1499 South 3rd, Shop and Save, 901-946-4303. So, man, definitely appreciate everybody for watching and for listening. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the like button, share the video as well with all of your family and friends, and we will definitely appreciate it. So, last couple minutes here. If anybody else wants to get a phone call in with anything you want to talk about, do you want to talk about the Grizz series? Do you want to talk about anything else in the sports world that's going on that maybe I hadn't hit on yet? The NBA playoffs start this weekend as well. The Grizz are one of the first matchups. It might be the first game. I think there may be a game before then at 12. But it's one of the first games of the weekend. The Grizz playing at 2:30 Central. Going to be on ESPN, but also on Bally Sports Southeast, which is where I'm going to watch the game. Got to check out my guys Pete and Brev, the local broadcast. Big fans of them. So y'all check that out also. But got some other games coming up. Got Brooklyn and Boston. That's going to be awesome. That game's going to be on Sunday. And let me check something right now, just to be 100% sure. And look at this playoff bracket. And before we get to that, let's go back to the phone lines and see who we got.
Call from
JGKP Worse.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
All right, and I think we got GKP.
Hey, man, you know I normally say that. Y'all already know who it is.
What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Man, I'm
what
good.
You do? Take my little preamp message off.
No.
Something I was gonna put there.
No, man, it's the phone. The phone system. You know how that works. Sometimes.
Okay, you switched up systems on them today. Okay, that's what's up, man. That's the business, bro. Pop's doing some good things. He's looking up, man.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's looking right at you as you're trying to do your broadcast. But tell him good work. We're enjoying it. This new thing is gonna work here. It's nice.
Yeah, man. I know we do so excellent, man. We just can't help it, really, to be honest. But nonetheless,
yeah. I know you've been waiting a long time for Pops to step up like this. You know what I mean? He's sitting back now looking like a proud papa saying, hey, we finally got, you know what I'm saying, this thing together, son. You know, come on, man.
Oh man, look, I know he's making a look at your comments. I'm just put it that way. You know?
That's why I ain't put a lot of comments up today, because he do too much screaming and, you know, trying to see what people saying and making sure everything is so politically correct and biblically correct. You know what I'm saying? Whoa, sometimes, man. Live a little. Okay?
Oh man, look, you trying to get him to respond here, man. He's holding.
He gonna pop on the screen in a minute. Get my cam up. Get my cam up. Don't play with me with the word. Don't play with the word on Free Your Mind Friday. Get my cam up.
There you go.
And you don't never have to call back. I don't care. Don't call back, because I don't play about the word.
I mean, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
You know how he gets down. You know, go ahead, Josh. You can laugh, man. Just because he's sitting there, you know it's funny.
No, I am laughing. I've been laughing all the time. I'm drinking water right now.
Oh, you want to drink some water, so
you know,
Pop don't feel like so. Now don't tell me Pop over there giving you that Jada eye. Is he giving you the Jada eye?
Hey, look. First of all, man, I've been wanting to say something about Jada. I feel like that's a whole nother thing. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nobody really talking about. You know, everybody talking on Will.
Everybody's trying to be quiet because she's trying to make Will look like a simp yet again.
I'm telling you.
Be 100.
Yes.
You know what's going on. That's why you can't protect women no more, because they're going to go right back to the house and make you look like a simp one way or another.
Look,
you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Here's the thing.
You know,
she came out and said she didn't need him to do all that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, why would you even say that? But again, that's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother.
You know, I saw it. I saw it, Josh. You know, we're media related. I saw it, you know, and it's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm with Will. I felt like, you know what I'm saying, everybody's jumping on Will, and Will did what every woman would want their man to do.
We'll
you
see
know what
now.
I'm saying? If he hadn't done it, if he hadn't done it, what you think he was going to get when he got in the car?
What, the Jada eye, I'm pretty sure. Now, but look, here's the thing. I don't care about the eye. You can give yourself the eye at that point. You know what I'm saying? But look, here's my thing.
Maybe he shouldn't have, but listen, you know what world we live in. It's the NWO. It's the New Woman Order. Okay?
Look, I'm going to be real.
I'm going to do that.
Look, and I know people say that every woman would want their man to do that. I think, yeah, but I don't know about every woman. I think certain women would be the helpmate to their man in a situation like that if he is thinking about doing it, and say, hey, this is not the time to do this. I understand what you're trying to do. I feel like that, you know, because I see a lot of women say, yeah, I want my man to get up and fight for me in any situation. Look, what if your man gets arrested and goes to jail? You gonna bail him out if he's out here fighting everybody? What I'm saying, like,
come get me.
It's not always the best situation to start swinging all the time. I think
it ain't good if she don't come get me. It ain't gonna be good if she don't come get me.
Well, that's even worse.
You know. But we gotta think. We gotta think back. You know, and you may be too young to remember this movie. Listen at me. Maybe too young to remember the movie Crash. You know, but remember before my man was on Empire, before he was whooped that trick. You know, he was in Crash.
Oh,
and remember when the police stopped him and felt his wife all up and down, and he had to stand there and take it and didn't do anything? What did she say when they got in the car and when they got to the house?
Well, I don't think I've seen that movie. I don't think I have, man.
You ain't never seen Crash?
I don't think I have. I've seen plenty of Terrence Howard movies. I don't think I've seen that movie. No.
Look it up, man. I like to know people to know what I'm talking about.
I'm not
research.
I'm not as old as you are. I mean, I can't be looking at all these old 60s movies and stuff that you bring up.
It wasn't in the 60s. Those are your pop movies. This is a movie that you should have known, okay?
What, like Uptown Saturday
You're
Night?
not that much younger than me, Josh. I couldn't have been your dad, okay? we're a little close range. I know your dad tries to make you think I'm old.
I don't know,
but I'm not.
I don't know. But look, let me throw this at you now. A couple comments here since we kind of got on this a little bit. Riddell says, "What if they man gets shot? Who's gonna stand up for her then?" That's kind of my thing, man.
Nobody.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't have to sit down at his funeral. It's simple.
It's not always about getting up and swinging. You know what I mean? It's about like look, like if it depends on the
situation. When a brother's been talking about your wife since 2016,
yeah.
Hey man, it's gonna pop off at some point in time. Wake up, people.
That's true.
It's gonna pop off at some point in time. Things come to a head.
That's true.
At that time, Chris Rock left himself open for things to come to a head.
Hey, you know what?
Okay.
Shout out to Bob in the comments, Bishop Bob in the comments. At GKP, this is a sports show. What are you doing? And I do it in his best voice.
If he was sitting there like he's doing, sitting there looking in your mouth, your statement was, if anybody wants to get something in and talk about anything before I go. That's why I didn't call until you said that.
Hey,
and I was allowed to change topics.
That's true. Now, look, I'm gonna say this. We may end up talking about this Saturday too, because literally me and Bob, me and my dad were literally talking about this today, earlier, off air. So you never know. This might get brought up again, man.
I don't believe that, John.
Yo,
I just believe I gave you a show idea. I'm gonna leave my royalties.
No.
Okay. Don't try to act like you and your pop were talking about it casually.
We were.
No, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm a sue. Okay.
Look, we don't need no lawsuits, man. You know, we starting to schedule off good.
You want your new equipment to get cut down? You hate for Bob to have to do a work shortage and equipment buy shortage.
Hey,
okay.
Look, here's the thing. Now, first of all, I'm gonna bring up this, and I'm gonna move on because some of y'all getting involved in it, and I like it. Riddell says Jada is a whole show. I agree. And Frankie says Will should have never married Jada. She says I am not a Jada. I would have laughed along with Will with the Chris Rock joke. I said there you go.
Well, and I also bet Frankie got hair on her head. Okay,
what?
Frankie wouldn't have went there without a wig on and put herself in harm's way for Will.
You think okay? You think her being bald put herself in harm's way? She can't help that.
Oh, definitely. G.I. Jones too. G.I. Jane too. Can't wait to see it. Okay. Simple.
Hey, look here. Shout out to Bishop Bob coming in. He says you already know who it is. It's your guy Bishop B, repping Jesus the King. There it is. See, look at that. Look at that. Very original.
I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to sue. Okay? This guy here, man.
Come on, man.
Don't you know that's trademark?
No,
that's
man.
Trademark.
No, look, you came in.
You can't say that.
You can't. You come in our show saying that all the time. So technically, it is partially our intellectual property at this point. If you look at the contract. Yeah.
Oh, you've been reading a little bit. Okay, come on, man.
I'm trying to tell you. Shout
out to my man.
Intellectual
about stealing my trademark. Okay.
I'm just saying. Shout out to my man Parrish, P Shark in the building. Hosts a Tighten Up podcast, and let's be real. He said, "Bruh is wilding," and he's laughing. So I think it's his first encounter.
Hey, T. Hey, tell P, you already know who it is. Come on, man. You know what's going on with me. You know, look me up, fam. Get with me.
I don't know if you want to do that, P, but it's up to you. You know, your discretion.
Hey, man, you know, GKP love all people. You know, me and P can rock like that. You know what I mean? I'm sure he's a Cowboys fan.
No.
Is that the cat I saw with all that Titan stuff up
yes,
in the room?
Yes, it's a Tighten Up podcast.
Man, get this guy. What's going on with this brother here? And you know what? I started to call into that show and go off because I didn't get to be the first guest. You bring this guy in on video and he got a room full of Titan stuff?
Yes, it was beautiful. I met the comment on it. Oh
my God.
Unbelievable
Who's
collection.
This guy here?
Yeah, man.
You know?
Look, we don't need you on video, man, with all your Clippers gear and what else, Kawhi jerseys and let alone the Cowboy stuff. I mean, that stuff just might shut the computer off.
Yeah, hey, tell P I thought we could rock for a minute, but tell him to go ahead and tighten down. Tighten down.
Okay.
Tighten down. Not accepting any new friends right now.
Look here, man.
You know what I mean?
Look at you. Look at it, man. We got Austin Hooper. We signed Austin Hooper. You know what I'm saying? That's our new tight end, man. We going places. My man Austin Hooper.
Y'all going places, all right. Right back out of the first round like you did this year.
My man
out of there, buddy.
Bobby Trees, aka Robert Woods. You know what I'm saying? The new receiver from LA. Yeah, he got a ACL situation, but that's gonna be fine when the season starts, and we're gonna be good to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about the Cowboys today because
I got
some terrible news earlier about Calvin Joseph out there.
Yeah.
So hey, you know,
matter of fact,
I stand down today on Cowboy talk.
All right, that's cool. I mean, we can break that down if you want. You know, we can.
No need. Forget about it. It's Free Your Mind Friday. Forget about it.
I'm sure you're freeing your mind right now, man. P Shark says, "Hey, man, tighten up." You know what I'm saying? There you go. So shout out to my guy. Represent.
All right, then, P. I'll be talking to you. You know what I mean?
We'll see. All right, GKP, man. Look, we got the.
All right, man. Look, I enjoyed myself. And tell Bob to stop staring you down and try to see how many views you're going to get. Okay? Let the man do his show in peace.
Look.
Oh, man.
See, come on, man.
Y'all already know who it is.
Y'all here starting stuff, man. First time calling back, or second time, whatever, however many times it is. See, they ain't hung up the phone. There you go. All right, man. That's GKP coming through. Let's see. Frankie says, what do you think the Clippers' chances are without Paul George tonight? Man, I saw that. Man, you know, and I hadn't seen anybody come down with COVID for a while, at least not in NBA related until now. And that's the worst possible time for the Clippers. Should have brought that up with GKP. I'd just seen that, Frankie. Man, that's messed up. I saw he came down with COVID, and I heard this potentially could be some more guys on the Clippers that got COVID. This is the worst time, man. They thought they were just getting healthy with Paul George coming back. Possibility Kawhi could come back in the playoffs if they make it. But now, I don't see them beating the Pelicans. I just don't. The Pelicans are on fire right now. CJ McCollum. I'm going to tell you, man, I always thought CJ McCollum was that dude. I really did. He would kill the Grizzlies consistently, but not just that. I don't think people paid enough attention to CJ McCollum and how good he was. He was always an all-star caliber player, but Dame Lillard was a little flashier and put up more numbers, you know. I think, better player for the majority of their time in Portland when they were together, but they both lit it up together. But now you see what CJ can do at the point guard position. They got him playing point in New Orleans, and he can facilitate, but he can put the ball in the hole. He can score. He's a big-time shot maker. He's clutch. He can hit the mid-range. People think the mid-range is dead. No, sir. He can get in that mid-range and go to work, hit you between the legs, hit a big shot in your face, no matter anywhere inside that arc. And he shows his three-point range as well. And he's with the Pelicans. That gives him free reign to do what he wants to do. Him, Brandon Ingram looks like a different guy. Looks like he's shown all the potential that people thought he had now that CJ's there. Jonas Valanciunas, the former Grizz, is down there putting up monster numbers just like he did here. I got the Pelicans beating the Clippers. I do. I really don't think without Paul George, you know, and I will say this, the Clippers played well without Paul George for the majority of this season, all the time he was out. But you need Paul George against this Pelicans team right now with the way they're playing. And I don't think they got enough. I think the Pelicans are a better team, top to bottom, than the Clippers. Even with Paul George, they had a chance to beat him. But without Paul George and potentially other players, I think the Pelicans win. People forget that is tonight as well. This is the last playing game to determine who's going to get the 8th seed in the Western Conference. Clippers and the Pelicans tonight. Thank you, Frankie, for reminding me. And the other game, matter of fact, let me see here. I can pull it up right now. Tonight on TNT, 9 p.m. And at 6:30, it's the Cavaliers and the Hawks for the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. So we kind of got ahead of ourselves so earlier talking about the playoffs. There's still 2 games left to determine and solidify the playoff field. The winner of these 2 games advances to the playoffs. The loser goes home to think about it for the rest of the offseason. So this is high stakes tonight. Atlanta's favored to win. The game is at Cleveland, but Atlanta is favored to win. In that game that's coming up on ESPN at 6:30, and the Pelicans at the Clippers. The Clippers are favored to win, but in my opinion, I think the Pelicans take that one, even though it's in Los Angeles. So we'll see, man. What do y'all think? Y'all got any comments on that before I go? You can put those down. But I think that's going to be pretty wild, to say the least. Again, reminder, weekly schedule, Talk Sports Live every Friday right here at 3 p.m. I'll be live with you on Talking Sports. Tomorrow, every Saturday, let's talk about it with Bishop Bob Midgett. Every Saturday at 1 p.m. He's got a special guest he's talking to this Saturday, so y'all check that out. I believe he put it out on Facebook. If not, he will, but y'all check that out. Also, Talk Back Live with Bob and Josh every Saturday, 4 p.m. Central Time. Maybe a little later. I think we're going to be live right after the Grizz game, so y'all can come and join us immediately after the game is over, which should not be too long after 4, maybe around 5. But y'all keep on the lookout for that. Also, the Word of Life Bible Study with Bishop Bob Midgett coming up on Sundays. So y'all check that out as well. Also, last reminder, as I scroll back up here, support our newest advertiser, Shop and Save. Some of the best soul food you will ever taste, and that's real talk. 1499 South 3rd, 901-946-4303. You can see it on the screen right there. Once again, 1499 South 3rd, Shop and Save, 901-946-4303. If you do check them out, be sure you tell them you heard about it right here on Talk Back Live. So again, I appreciate everybody for tuning in, for watching, for listening. A lot of great comments and conversation with everybody today. And we will see y'all tomorrow live on Let's Talk About It and Talk Back Live with Bob and Josh. So without any further ado, y'all have a good one. Soul food in the Mid-South is Shop and Save. 1499 South 3rd, 901-946-4303. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And some of the items on their menu consist of catfish, spaghetti, chicken and dressing, turkey wings, meatloaf, fried chicken, cabbage, yams, greens, salmon croquette, and the list goes on. Some of the best soul food you ever taste in the Mid-South, it is Shop and Save. 1499 South 3rd. Call them again at 901-946-4303. Been in business since 1991. Shop and Save, 1499 South 3rd, 901-946-4303 for some of the best soul food you'll ever taste.